Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is so wonderful, even in these non-traditional times, to meet some new friends. I have a new friend with me today. I'd love for him to introduce himself, his first and last name, and the name of his book.
My name is Michael Gross, and my book is The Wingman's Path to Positivity.
Oh, my goodness. I have a gut feeling that I want to be your wingman. I have a gut feeling that that is the case. Now tell me, what can people find within this book?
They're going to find a way. I found, for me, discovering what I called the wingman's path was just a very simple path to to what I call hitting the spiritual lottery.
Oh.
And it wasn't like a one fell swoop, of course, as you know. It was just baby steps of what I found is practicing. All I have to do is practice. And what I discovered for myself was that all I have to do is practice for 1 minute a day.
1 minute.
1 minute a day. And I came to that by one of the chapters in the book talks about how I came to that, which was I love football.
Okay.
And because of that, I love the Eagles from Philadelphia, and I love watching the Super Bowl. And I don't go to Super Bowl parties because I'm sort of like, I like to watch the game, and I really love the commercials because that's when all the big companies bring out their best new commercials, right?
I love it, yes.
So when I was watching a game one time, and it was a great game, but what I really found was that I was enamored with the commercials because I was noticing all these big businesses, all the most successful businesses of our time were spending millions and millions of dollars to bring these commercials so they could get into our conscious mind for 1 minute and hopefully be in our subconscious mind forever, right?
Yes.
And so I thought, well, what if I just did these practices for 1 minute to get these positivity things into my subconscious? And it just grew from there. It just grew from there.
1 minute at a time.
And the thing that really worked for me with that was there's no beating yourself up. I mean, everyone can do it for 1 minute a day, right? It's not like, oh, I failed miserably. It's a minute.
I can handle that, right?
Right,
so even the busiest person can handle 1 minute a day.
Well, you know what they say. What was that great saying? Everyone should meditate for 20 minutes a day, but if you don't have time, you should do it for an hour.
Exactly. I completely agree. So that's what you're a man after my own heart because I'm obsessed. I'm one of those people that people used to get up and go to the bathroom during commercials. I love commercials in general. I mean, I'd rather sit through commercials. I love a preview of a movie.
Yes. Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm that way. Don't make me miss my previews in every movie. But to be able to condense it in that space, did you find that this was something that was easy for you to apply to your own life as well?
It was. I don't want to say easy because what I found I had to do was, I started listening on audio books while I was walking. And I think what I had to do was break down these, what I call the masters of the universe and what they were saying into fun, find the treasure map, find the meaning of what they were saying or something that I could understand and take with that and break it down into a 1 minute practice.
Oh, I absolutely love that.
And what happened?
Go ahead.
Go on, please.
Because I think that in all of the messages and all of the things that are out there in the space, being able to take that moment, to reflect, so tell me, what am I supposed to be doing in this ideally within this 1 minute of time? Walk me through that because I'm anxious to get started. It
could be as simple as, one of my favorite practices started with a kid. He was in the back. I was driving him somewhere and I was like, you want to do a practice? And so we just started saying, I'm a lucky guy. I'm a lucky guy. But being kids, they know vibration much better than us, right?
Yes, they do.
He kept elevating it. He goes, we're super lucky guys and we're Ultraman lucky guys. And what happened after that is we ended up going to a pretzel store, for whatever reason. And as we were in there, we got our pretzels and I'm putting mustard on mine and some older woman comes in and pays for her pretzels and drops all this change all over the floor, right? So he goes, being a good kid, he picks it all up and hands it to her. And she says, no, it's for you. You keep it. And he turns around and looks at me with this big smile on my face. And I said, well, this is a classic practice. This one's going to last.
I'm a lucky guy.
I'm a lucky guy. Or girl, or however you might, call yourself. So these practices just sort of came to me.
Right.
It's sort of like someone brought it to me. Someone shined a light
Yes.
or held the light for me without even realizing it, perhaps.
Wow.
To me, it was like, oh, that's what I have to practice. Because I think, Sheldon, and I know you know this, but I think when you recognize that your vibration leads the way of everything,
Absolutely.
you want to make certain you get the momentum. You recognize it's a momentum game, and all you have to do is get it going in the right direction.
Get it going in the right direction. Now, I know that this is a movement for you, but you've been still for a while, right? So I know that you're a traveler, right, my friend?
We're still right now, but we have been traveling. You know, that was sort of what happened with the whole, that's where the book sort of really started coming into our own, when I said, you know, we're just practicing what we preach. We're doing something that raises our vibration. And we literally put it, you know, sold our house, put everything in storage, and just started traveling. And it came about because of one of the practices we did when we sold our house.
Really?
It was not expected to be traveling. We sold the house very quickly. And my wife and I were sitting there, you know, when we got this thing, and we didn't really have a plan. So I said, well, let's do a practice. Let's do a practice. I call it One Amazing Year. And you close your eyes and you pretend it's 1 year from today. And you just close your eyes and you say, what an amazing year I've had. And you see where it goes. You see what come up for you. Maybe you're going to go month by month on what happened for you, or maybe you're just going to be in such a great place at the end of that year. And you know, what you want to do is practice the vibration or the energy of your desire, right? So you match the energy of your desire, and it becomes your reality. And as soon as we did it, you know, I ended up saying I just wanted to get an inexpensive apartment, and my wife was like, "That's it. You said it's an amazing year. I want to quit my job and travel." And I was like, "Wait, what? What?"
I don't know if I got that full vibration, but okay.
So, but what happened was we came up with we merged our plans, and we got an inexpensive apartment in Thailand, and that's where we started everything.
In Thailand.
Well, that's
where your vibration took you.
That's where, and you know what? It was a good place to start. It was
such an amazing place to start. And then I'm sure your perspective, being such a world traveler, has really is heightened. It's grown in understanding this and the continued practice. Do you find, so you do this every day? So tell me.
As a matter of fact, people can join me on my Facebook group, The Wingman's Path to Positivity. And I do a practice almost every morning. I haven't missed one in a long time, but I say almost every morning because some mornings, you know, I just, whatever.
I mean, some mornings, right.
Let me change that.
1 minute is spent in peace, right?
Well, let me change that. I never miss practicing for 1 minute a day.
Fair enough.
But I might not video it that day, but I have videoed, and it's amazing. I just sort of come up with a practice of what I want to feel that day, what vibration I want to be sending out. And I thought, you know what, if I'm sending it out, maybe others might want to practice that same vibration. And of course, the more of us that practice it, the easier it becomes for each of us, I think.
I love this. And when you say easier, because I do think that there are some people out there, right, that are a little bit more stringent or stern than others, right? They're like, oh, I don't necessarily know, a minute a day. Now, was it a situation where what do you need to come to this with? Did you have to be authentic? Do you have to be at peace? Like, how do you find that people come to this practice, or can they meet you wherever it is that they are and then begin the journey?
I always say I meet them where they are. If I'm coaching them, I meet them where they are. If they're doing a practice with me, you know, now let's face it, the practices that I'm doing might not be where they are. Of course, I might be, one of the practices I often do is my vibration has a twang, you know, like, wait, something's going on. And when you recognize energy quicker, you start recognizing that your energy might be going the wrong way.
Right.
You know, so what I find is you meet them where they are, and that's where you have to start. For instance, one of my early practices that I wrote about in the book, I just called a simple high five. Right. And I said, all right, what 5 things happened in the last 24 hours that I'm thankful for, I'm happy for, something, right? Okay. But so what I say, if I'm talking with someone who isn't in a place where they had 5 good things happen yesterday, or in the last, I say, 1, you can stretch it, or 2, just find 3 things that weren't lousy. Because what I have found is the more I can find, the more positives I find, the more positives the universe is going to send
100%. 100%. 100%. This is so wonderful. Now let's talk about the book.
All right, let's talk about the book.
Again, we have the practice. We have the practice in which you conduct, and we can participate in. Yes.
There's the book. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get a better view of it.
I can see it. I was so excited. There's the practice in which you do each and every day, and then you share that as often as you can. But in the book, what can people find? Does that navigate you through, your journey? Does that assist you in the practice? What can you find in there?
In the book, as a matter of fact, I got a super compliment when we had my wife and I had that, we did a book launch from the apartment, right? Because of course we're in quarantine, right? And my mother-in-law said, I thought it was just going to be a book of practices. I loved that chapter you read. So it's really, and when your mother-in-law saying something's good, you're pretty, you're
buy it good. Now, everyone. My mother-in-law said it was good. Buy it now.
That is true. The book is sort of a book of practices, but how I came to each practice, and it's sort of in a chronological order. It just led me from one practice to the next.
Yeah.
And what I found, some practices I had to practice for months at a time to really get my vibration in that direction.
I think that's so helpful, because I think a lot of people, especially those that are connected, those that have high energy, those that don't initially, and I'm going to say initially because I believe that that's something that you can obtain, those that don't initially think that you have to be born with it, or think that it has to be intense in that way, where you're saying that even for somebody as enlightened as you, somebody as aware as you, it was something that you in turn really had to practice.
You have to practice.
Yeah.
And even when things are going great, you have to practice, because you know how easy it is to slip to slip backwards. And once you get the momentum going the wrong way, it gets momentum, so
momentum. Even momentum in the wrong way is momentum. I totally agree with that.
Oh my God. And that's what you really have to watch out for, of course, right? The momentum going the wrong way.
Absolutely. And then you can get lost in it, and then it's harder to make your way back. But I'm so excited that we can make our way back with you. Now, the book, again, is in chronological order on how your practices and how you got there, and the work that it took in order for you to get there, right?
And it ends with me sitting on a beach in Bali with what I called a graduation practice that I said was delivered to me from my inner wingman. And
wow.
And it's sort of amazing the people I sort of met along the way. Like I met Dr. Bernie Siegel and Dr. John Kabat-Zinn and Sark, and all these people gave me different practices as I was reading them and talking with them.
This journey cannot be, started in Thailand, graduated in Bali. There's nothing that sounds wrong with any of the things that I just said.
You know what? It's been such a fabulous journey for me. And you mentioned I'm evolved, and you know what? I recognize that in myself now, whereas I was far from that, when I was homeless and struggling and trying to figure life out. And I started doing these practices, and it just changed everything. I think what happened was it was very small steps.
Yeah.
Each time, and I think you were mentioning that's what happens. I think people come to law of attraction or whatever they want to call it, and they're like, oh, I'll try this. Or they say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. And then they say, it's not working. I just met with someone last week, actually, and we were talking. I said, well, when did you do the practices? When did you say I'm a millionaire? He said, right after I paid my bills. And I said, how'd you feel about after your bills? He goes, I was broke. And I was like, it doesn't matter what you're saying. You were sending out a vibration of being broke.
Right.
You might have been saying you're a millionaire or you had $1 million, but you were sending out a vibration of I'm broke, and the universe is just going to send you back more of that same vibe, more reasons to feel it. So.
Absolutely. In little form, I'm a practitioner of it. I believe it to be true. And then sometimes when you're in the valley, it's hard to see the light, right? It's hard, right? It's hard for you to recognize it. But if you practice it, I think that is what you've nailed in this conversation and in your life, is that it is a practice. It is not an overnight scenario. It is not something that you're going to turn the switch on automatically, but the more practice, the more progress. I absolutely love this. If people want to get in touch with you, my new friend, if people want to purchase this book and learn more about you and even visit you every day.
All right. 3 things. 1, you can purchase the book wherever you purchase books, but I would say Amazon, because they are the largest, of course, and just look up The Wingman's Path to Positivity on Amazon. 2, you can join me on my Facebook group. By all means, join the group. I do a practice every morning. It's the Wingman's Path to Positivity. Or 3, you can come to my website, which now that the book's written and everything's changing, so I have to fix up my website a little bit. But it's called thewingmanspath.com.
All right. Well, then no judgment at all, my friend. It is worth every click. I'm so excited that you are now part of our community, and we will encourage everybody else to be part of yours as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Sheldon, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Oh my God, the first of many. I just have a feeling. You're stuck with me, my friend.
I can't wait.
Well, I'm so excited. That was so absolutely fun. Again, don't forget to follow, fan, and like my new friend. I promise you, it will be worth every minute. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye now.